Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Life with Ty. Good morning. I'm saying good morning because it's morning while I'm recording this. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I really do appreciate it. Let's get started.
You've got Ty on the line on her podcast. So what's on her mind? And for you now, you are listening to Ty on the line.
As we continue Social Worker Appreciation Month, this week's spotlight goes out to Tamara Grigsby. She is 29 on the 30 people most influential in social work list. She is active in politics and public policy. She was a state representative for the city of Milwaukee for 8 years and later became Dane County Community Outreach Coordinator. She fought passionately for the needs of children, communities of color, and low income. She unfortunately passed at the age of 41, but she is forever remembered for her hard work and dedication in the field. This week's tea is Yogi Cinnamon Vanilla Bean Healthy Skin Tea. And you know, with Yogi, they do have the cute little messages. So the tea bag says, prosperity is within us. And you know, I have two. So the other one says, when the dawn of simplicity comes into life, complications leave. With this tea, it is really sweet and it tastes super good. This tea helps rejuvenate your skin and helps moisturize it. Some ingredients include cocoa shells, cinnamon bark, and vanilla bean. I noticed that I like teas with cinnamon and vanilla, so I'm starting to get in tune with the different type of teas that I like. As far as skin changes, I did see a few, but I have also been on a skin routine to help with my dark circles under my eyes due to constantly being on the computer and being tired. So I'm not sure if it's the tea or my skin routine, but my dark spots are clearing up. And I didn't use that much honey for this tea because, like I stated before, it is very sweet. Now, I told you guys that I would be giving you guys some social worker myths. So for this week, the social worker myth is that social workers don't only work in DCF or welfare recipients. Social workers are found in schools, courts, government, rehab centers for drug and alcohol abuse, hospital, police departments, centers for children advocacy, adoption agencies, shelters, centers for family counseling, and centers for mental health. So social workers are found basically almost everywhere and almost in everything. There is always going to be a position open for them. This week's topic is depression. Depression is both a brain disorder and a state of mind. Some say depression is a hidden illness because it isn't something that you can necessarily see in someone. Depression affects over 18 million adults, 1 in 10 in every given year, and it is also the leading cause of disability for ages 15 to 44. Now, depression is real and it is a serious topic. I personally have dealt with depression a little bit just because I feel like there's so much going on right now and I kind of feel like I'm moving in circles and nothing is happening. When you're depressed, you usually don't want to do anything. You sleep all day, don't want to be interactive with your friends or your family. You just kind of stay to yourself. So this week I have covered this topic with Paco and we just had a genuine conversation about depression and what we're doing to help us get through it. This episode is unedited. We did not cut anything out. So like I said, it's just a genuine conversation about the topic and what we're doing to get through it. So check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Life with Ty. Today I have a guest with me and we're going to be covering the topic about depression. So if you want to go ahead and welcome yourself to the show.
Hi, everybody. My name is Paco. I suffer from depression, and we can get started.
Okay. Well, I just want to give people some background. I met Paco, what was it, 2014, I want to say. 13 at Teleperformance. I feel like everybody in Palm Beach County and Broward County knows or has worked at Teleperformance. And Paco is a SME and just always fun and lit and just full of life, making jokes. And
Always.
we just was cool.
Always.
So, on February 28th, I know that you had made a post, and I'm going to go ahead and read it for the people who may not have you on Facebook. You said, I know I I know I haven't been doing a lot of looks lately. If you guys don't know, I've been severely depressed and it's been so hard for me to get out of bed and live my life how I did. I'm happy when I'm around people, but even then my mind triggers to loneliness, pain, and hurt. I told myself come March, I'm going to try my hardest to fight depression, go live often, do more looks, learn new techniques, and level up. People need to just understand that it's just not as easy to switch a button. Please bear with me. Why did you decide to share something so personal on
Well,
Facebook?
I've always been transparent. Always been like, I've, this is not my first platform that I go live on. I go live on Periscope. If anybody who doesn't know what Periscope is, it's a live stream app that's powered by Twitter. So, you know me. Like you said, I'm always energetic, fun, all of
Right.
that. So, I've always been that person. So, being live on Periscope just made me more like, very transparent to
Comfortable.
people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what people say about me. I don't. I have the attitude where you do what you want to do, say what you want to say. Just don't fight me because I'll fight you back, or don't touch me stuff. But so I'm very transparent with everybody. Being that I'm getting on a platform that's Facebook, that Facebook platform, I've always had, we all had Facebook,
Right.
but I just started recently getting on it because of my makeup. So I have a lot of people from the makeup community that, cheer me
Follow
on,
you
that,
and stuff.
love to hear about my life. So, but before that, I'm always transparent with people. So I just want to let people know because since January, when I lost a very close friend, it's like a brother to me, people have been noticing that, I've been MIA or I haven't been acting the same way I have or just, you know, just totally changed it a whole 180. Not a 360, but a 180. And so a lot of people have been messaging me like, what's going on? Girl, get back on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like,
where
you
have
need
you
to,
been?
right, go
Because people are
live.
used to seeing
Yeah.
you, right?
And I do makeup, so I don't, like I said, I don't do makeup on people, but I do makeup on myself.
Right.
So a lot of people are always like, we miss you going live, like, I want to see you do your makeup, all that. And so I just had to let them know, like, I'm very transparent with you guys. I'm letting you guys know depression is real. And I've been going through it, and I don't want to seek any medical help just because I have people and friends who seek medical help or who have seek medical help, and it's just like you're taking medication for what? To feel good for that moment.
Right. Because they're like, with the medication, and I meant to look this up before I came, about how it releases a certain hormone that makes you happy. But I can't think of how taking a pill is going to change my emotional state.
Well, that's the thing. It's a mental thing.
Right.
And that's why I decided to let people know, like, hey, you guys, I'm depressed. Letting you guys know. So that's kind of like, for me, like a cry out.
Right.
Like,
Letting people
little
know that
mama,
I
you
need
see
help.
me saying I'm, depressed, like, what's up? Hit me up, Instead of going to a therapist who will sit here and listen to you and jot notes down and then tell you do this.
Right.
When you get home, it's like, okay, I'm depressed again.
You're still dealing with it.
Because you're by yourself. You're alone. You may
don't
have family and
necessarily-
friends, but it's not the same when you're in your own room looking up at the ceiling. But that's the reason why I haven't personally got any medical or seeked any medical attention.
Do you feel like you might in the
Uh,
future?
no,
No.
because I don't. It's temporary.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is temporary. My depression is just it's triggered by me losing a very close family friend. Like we grew up as brothers, and that hit me so hard. Last time I was severely depressed like this was about 8, 9 years ago when one of my close friends, Amanda, passed away. And that hit me hard. So I know what depression is. Been there, been had it,
You've already experienced
So
it.
I know that if I can get away from that at that time, I can do it again. It's just right now, everything is hitting me at once. And it's like, let me breathe.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Girl, and
I
it's been raining.
completely understand. When it rains, it pours. So it's like I was saying before, you being so happy and go lucky and always making jokes. Like, how are people able to turn around and still see you and be like, okay, yeah, you are dealing with depression? Because I don't know you personally, like on a 1-to-1, but I feel like I still see you making jokes and I still
Yeah.
see you, talking and still being you.
Well, a lot of people, like, they know me off of just being that type of person.
Right.
I'm that type of person because that's kind of a way I deal with my depression. Let me be funny. Let me make jokes. A lot of people do that.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
the only
true.
one that does that, but a lot of people do that, and it just I get a natural high off of people laughing at me or laughing at the jokes I say. And it helps me because it's like 1 minute I'm depressed, The next, I'm extremely happy. And it's just like, it goes back and forth. It's not like a switch where I can just be like, I'm going to be depressed today. Or I'm going to be
It's
happy.
just certain things, like you said, trigger it.
Yes, there's a lot of things that trigger it. And lately, last week when I wrote that, I really was depressed. I was in a deep place. In a deep place. Like, I was crying while I was writing it because it's just like, why am I feeling like this?
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't feel like this being the person I am. You know?
Yeah,
And just like you asked or said, a lot of people see you happy. How do they react when they see me like this? They react bad. A lot of messages I got is like, girl, you're not depressed. Shut up.
That's exactly, because I was having a conversation last week's episode about masculinity, and we are talking about, how do you recognize depression and things like that among your friends. And for me, being the strong friend and being the friend that's always funny, being the friend that always has the answer and always has their things together, it's like when I say, okay, no, I'm really dealing with something, it's hard for my friends to be like,
are you really?
Yeah. But it happens, and I think that it's okay to be able to say that I'm not strong, or it's okay to be able to say that I can't do this, or right now I need help.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to have these conversations because, like, for me, I would just go home and drink every night. And I wasn't even a drinker.
See, I used to smoke every night. I drink more than I smoke now, but I used to smoke every night because that high, it's just relaxed. It
It helps you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not, because my thing is that one thing about me, if I'm in that mode, I can eat. I have nothing against the people who can't eat when they're depressed, but I'm going to eat.
Right.
I won't sleep because whatever it is constantly in my mind all day, and I'm thinking. But I had to have a drink every night to fall asleep, and I started to go from 1 drink to 2 drinks to 3 drinks.
To a whole bottle.
Dropping a whole bottle of Hennessy, and I never drunk before. So it was just like, but that helped me go to sleep so I could get that off of my mind.
Right. No, I mean, I deal with depression differently, to be honest with you. I want to be by myself, and I like to be by myself when I'm depressed, but I also want attention.
Yeah.
I want to be acknowledged,
to have love.
But at the same time, it's like I don't tell my friends I'm depressed. I don't, unless I really show it, because, like you said, a lot of people don't believe you. They see me as go lucky, go happy, all that.
They're like, girl, please.
Girl, you just...
What, you ain't getting none this week?
Right, I was just going to say, they really do. They be like, girl, you ain't getting it this week, so that's why you
that's why,
no.
no, I'm really, really dealing with something. And for us, like, being Haitian, like, we don't talk about things.
Yeah, being born in a Caribbean household or Hispanic household, like, we don't have that type of bond. Well, not everybody does.
Right.
There's some people that do. But me, personally speaking, I can't go to my brother. I can't go to my sisters, my mother, who also has depression. I try not to because she gets depressed easily as well. Okay. Now, she takes medication. That's why I choose not to, because of...
You're seeing it firsthand.
Right. Her side effects aren't bad, but you can still, there's
still
always
tell.
going to be side effects. So.
Right.
But like you were saying, growing up in a household, like, you're so... You grow... I don't know how to say, like, you just... grow into yourself. You grow into just telling yourself you'll be okay, because you're not taught to tell your brother, your sister, your cousin, your etc. that you're going through something.
Right.
So as an adult, your mind is stuck just like that, and it's just like, you know what? I'm in a shell, and I need help from the shell, but I don't know how to ask for help because I've always been in the shell by myself, and I know I will get through it, and that's how it is for me. I want my shell to be broken, but not by myself.
Right.
Because I'm so used to being stuck in that shell that it's comfortable.
Yeah.
So when I'm finally out of that shell, I don't want to go back. But there's things that just trigger your depression.
There is things
that just hit you, and it's just like...
in the middle of the day.
Girl.
In the middle of you could wake up, the birds are chirping. It's like, okay, today I'm going to have a good day. The birds are chirping.
The birds Caca. Real quick.
And then it's just, it could be that one thing, whether it's a song or a car or a particular color, and it's like you're running to the bathroom like boo-hoo crying.
It's a word. Like I said, on the 19th of January, I lost a real close family friend. Haitian, last name is St. Fleur. Girl, I work, at a call center. But I make appointments, and there's a patient with the last name St. Fleur.
Oh my
Girl,
god.
when I tell you I broke down, because when I say family, if anybody listening to this don't know me, I am a gay male, and I've struggled with being gay my whole life. You know, I didn't grow up knowing what gay was because I didn't have anybody to show me, you know, the gay
Or to
ways
talk
or
to you about
to talk
it.
to. And my mom hid my gay family from me because she was so scared that people would attack me for being who I am.
Yeah.
And one of the first people that accepted me who I was Patrick that passed away. And that hit me hard. It's like, you know, we all grew up together. We're brothers, you know? And he was just like, we all knew you was fruity. We all knew that, you know. Just continue being you.
Yeah,
you
and
know? And we
accepted
love
you
you
for
and we
that.
accept you. And so that always plays in the back of my mind. Like, you know, you don't get that from a lot of people. A lot of people are so homophobic. For what?
Oh
I don't go around trying to grab you, you know, trying
Or
to touch
disrespect you or do
Right,
anything.
I don't.
I
Just
don't get it
let me be
either.
me. And people attack me all the time for it, and I'm okay with it. That doesn't bother me. I don't get depressed for people talking about me. I don't get depressed for people attacking me for my, you know, sexuality. You know, they think I'm a girl, and then when I hit them up, like, nah, dude, I'm a whole nigga. Like, you need to back up because you're not gonna be, you know, hunching, you know, this and that. You're gonna
Right.
you're gonna feel something else, you know. And it's just like you know, like I don't. That doesn't bother me, but my depression comes from, I think it's just a lot of things that I bottled up.
Yeah.
You know,
Things that you need to
from
release.
yeah, and I don't know how to because I wasn't taught to.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of sad
It is.
when you think about it. It's like, do you want to tell somebody and then relieve it, or not tell nobody and just get over it? Because when I actually told somebody how I felt, and I felt so stupid.
Because of the way that they made you feel.
That and because I've never done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like riding a bike. The first time you ride a bike,
you're falling
you're gonna
all over the
fall.
place.
But that's kind of stupid. That analogy was kind of stupid, but it's kind of like that. But it's like when I told my friend was like, okay, you know, didn't really say too much, but still made me feel like, damn, I really told this person this, and now I feel stupid.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? Let me just keep it to myself because now I'm more depressed.
Because you feel like when you're saying it out loud, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not. But it is when you're by yourself.
It is. And it still is a big deal even when you're alone. But it's just like, I don't know. I always feel like with other people, it's hard for them to put themselves in your shoes. Like, it's hard for people to be transparent like you say you are. Like, because people will look at it and be like, oh, I've been through worse. You'll get through it.
Right.
And I know when people are like, oh, pray about it. Like, yeah, but sometimes there's things that, and I'm a firm believer in God and stuff like that, but sometimes there's things that just emotionally, like, I just need somebody to hug me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sometimes it's something physical.
Right.
Like, honestly, I can't speak for all people who are depressed or are going through depression, but I feel like all we need is just love.
Yeah.
You know, like, open up, let me give you a hug, you know, like, real quick. Or, you know, how's your day going? Something simple. Mm-hmm. There's so many days where it's so hard for me. Like I wrote in the post, it's so hard for me to get out of bed. I don't even hear my alarm. Mm-hmm. I work from 12 to 7. That's a beautiful schedule.
That's smack dab in the middle
Girl,
of the day.
I'm going, you know, like I can get off of work and still go to the club on the weekend. I'm going to work by 2, 3 o'clock. It's been affecting me. I'll go to sleep 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I won't go to sleep at all. Sometimes I go to sleep at 8 in the morning, and that's why I'm late to work, you know?
Yeah.
It's because either my mind's wandering off and thinking, what if, about this, about that, or I'm so depressed I just sit there and just look away, you know? But it's just like, sometimes I want to wake up and be like, hey, what's up, Paco? How you doing? Like, I love you. Oh, thank you. I love you too, girl. That changes my whole mood.
That makes you feel better.
I go to work, and then I hear somebody tell me, you late. Didn't I just tell you I'm depressed? Like, you don't know because you're not going through it.
Right.
I can't explain how depression is. Depression, you can't explain how it is besides being sad and you know.
And, the dictionary definition.
Girl, and that you can't explain depression to anybody until somebody has depression.
That's the tip of the iceberg. I didn't really know what depression was until I started to get into social work. Until I started to learn about these things, about anxiety, about all of these things that trigger it. And then I'm realizing when I'm looking back on my life that when I was in the 7th grade, I had an anxiety attack because of my emotion. And I thought I had anger issues, but it was just anxiety. Like, I passed out and everything. And then later on, I'm realizing, okay, when I was going through this period of time and I couldn't sleep, and you're praying for God to get this thing out of your head or to stop thinking about it. And I was like, that's what it was. And it's like now I'm realizing that at 22, 23, and it's only because I went through social work. So you got to think about the people who never even had that chance.
Like I said, I think it's just when you go through it, when you realize that you've gone through it, because not a lot of people go through it, and not a lot of people get through it, But when you've gone through it, you'll know if you're depressed, oh, that was anxiety, or I'm bipolar, or blah blah blah, this and this and that. And for me, it took me losing my friend for me to like. The thing is, I've always had depression. I was always been depressed. I've always been in a depressed state, but it never hit me. Like, it's just something I brushed off.
Something that was like, okay, I hear you,
like,
but I'm good.
I'm broke. Okay. Next. This happened. Oh, next. Oh, my boyfriend broke up with me. Next. But, excuse me, I'm sorry. When I lost my close friend Amanda, she was like, people don't know how close we were. It wasn't something that we announced to the world, and I got so much hate for that. For people saying, "Oh, you don't know her." Y'all not friends. Like, first of all, she was the first person to talk to me in 4th period, freshman year. And I'm a very outspoken person, so I speak to everybody. But I also shelter myself. I also shut myself when I go to class. If I don't want to speak to nobody, I'll stay to myself. But she was the first person that spoke to me, and we went through a lot. I don't want to get into detail because
you're fine. But
we went through a lot, and she was like my sister. Like, we skipped together, girl. We told the teacher we had diarrhea together, type stuff.
That was a close friend of yours.
When I lost her, I knew what depression was, but I went through it when I lost her. I was stuck the whole summer from the end of junior year to senior year. Stuck. I wouldn't go outside. I'd be in my house in the dark. It got to the point where I don't want to, sound nasty, but it got to the point where I would pee in a bottle just so I won't have to get out of my room to deal with my family, to deal with some of my friends try to come to comfort me. I know that sounds nasty, but depression really hits people, and it hits people differently, and it hit me so hard. I felt like I was sinking in my bed because all I did was lay in my bed. And the thing is, I had everything around me. I had everything around me to be happy, but I wasn't.
And that's the thing.
And it's just like, I got through it because I prayed. And, some people say you got to pray through it. Sometimes it's right.
Yeah, you do.
I prayed. And the funny thing, the week before school started, my senior year, I had a dream. I won't get into detail with that dream, y'all, but I had a dream. And I woke up, my depression was gone. Wow. All I know is the night before I asked God, God, please help me. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to live like this.
I don't want to feel like this.
I'm 17, about to be 18. Like, I don't need to feel like this. Why am I feeling like this? I have everything, I didn't grow up in a house where everything was handed to me, but I grew up in a house that I was loved.
Yeah.
If I needed something, my dad's like, he'll work hard to give it to me. And I guess that day is when I knew that I can get through depression. It's not something that you can get overnight over it, but you can get through it.
Yeah, it takes time.
And I haven't been depressed since, honestly, like, you see me at TP, nothing bother me, girl. They'll be like, Paco, what you doing? Minding my business? It's like, you're supposed to be, me and helping somebody. I'm minding my business. And it's just, and now it's just, I think it hit me. I lost my my Papa Luis. He's my grandpa. I lost him. Okay. I was depressed, but I wasn't Amanda depressed. And I haven't been Amanda depressed till now, being that I lost someone that was so close to me. But this time is different because I'm an adult.
Right.
I have bills. I have
school, or not school, work.
Right, work. I have friends that I don't have anymore. Like, even though people say, F friends, you don't need friends.
You do
sometimes
need
you
friends.
do.
Yeah. You don't need a whole crowd.
Sometimes you need some Chick-fil-A chicken
Somebody here.
nuggets. You know, like I got some right now. My girl got me some. But because of that, being an adult, you are hit with a whole bunch of things left and right. And it's constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people that don't say it. A lot of people that don't say it don't make it through it.
That's true.
And that's what I'm kind of scared of, because sometimes when I get depressed, I get that deep. I get so deep that I feel like, you know, I used to be very suicidal. A lot of people don't know that. I used to be suicidal when I was in middle school and beginning of high school because I was gay. And like I said, hold on, let me eat this. Because I don't know if I sound fat chewing it. Hold on. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't grow up knowing what gay was.
Right.
I mean, everybody know what gay is.
But you didn't grow up knowing on how to deal with
Right.
it and recognize it.
And I think that's a part of the reason why I'm still kind of, like, you know, a little depressed, because people are attacking me daily. They never attacked my brother, because my brother, you know, me and my brother, if you guys don't know, I'm a twin. My brother's very masculine.
Yeah. I've seen,
My brother's straight.
in pictures.
Loves girls, love the punani, all of that. I, on the other hand, I stopped playing sports because I was ridiculed for being so fat and so feminine, like. So I stopped playing that. My brother asked me, why you don't play no more? And I always be like, I don't want to play that sport. Leave me alone. Like, I don't want to play that.
Right.
And it's just me hiding it. And I think I was just suppressing all those memories
those
of being
feelings,
bullied
yeah.
and attacked for who I am growing up. It's just now getting to me like, damn. Can I say that?
Yeah, no.
like, damn, like, I'm still going through it.
All of these things, I've never really fully dealt with them. Yeah. And I've had that experience too. Like, I would be, like, when I was dating somebody, this sounds so stupid, but, like, every night they would walk me out. And one night, I'm, like, calling out their name and they fell asleep, and he not getting up. I'm, like, calling his, like, mind you, he did fall asleep. We did have a long date. And I slammed the door, and I walked out, and I'm on my way home, just tears, just boo-hoo crying. And it reminded me of a time when I was calling my dad, and my phone had, my car had stopped in the middle of the road. I'm calling my dad. The week previously, I called him an a-hole.
You know what?
You know what, Haitians, you can't tell it. You can't just say whatever you want. So my dad was purposely ignoring me. But I was thinking, like, you know, God forbid if something was wrong with me. God forbid if something were happening to me. And I felt that same sense of abandonment.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it was happening all over again. And it took me to a dark place. And it's like, at that moment, I realized I have all of these little things in my life that I've never fully dealt with. And it was just hitting me all at once as an adult. And like you said, like, you still have to get up the next day and do what you got to do. You can't just not go to school.
You can't just not go to work.
This is you're past that. So you still have to get up. You have to go to work. You have to talk to people. You still have to interact. And it's like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to talk to anybody. But you have to, and my thing is that, it's like I don't have time to be in my feelings. So I pour myself into work. I pour myself into school. I pour myself into every and anything else besides having to deal with what I'm going through. And it just constantly piles up.
I think the hardest part is just getting up.
That's true.
The hardest thing to do is just to do it. You know? Everybody, you know, like Nike, just do it. It's easy to say it.
Yeah.
But to do it, the hardest part, because once I'm up, I promise you, you know, sometimes I wake up, my head is killing me because I've cried so much the night before, or
you didn't get enough sleep.
Or my body just feels so weak because I didn't get enough sleep. The hardest part to do is get up. But once you're up, I always tell myself, Paco, you're up. You can do what you want to do. You can call off of work if you want to, get in trouble, and still live your life. Or you can go to work, make that money. Even if it's for 2 3 hours, you're still making some type of change, you know, some coins. Leave work and be happy that you actually took the time to get up and do something for yourself.
Right.
You know, excuse me. There was a time where, since the 19th, like I keep bringing it up, I've just been depressed because you know, the loss and just things that happened previously that didn't really affect me until
now.
Depression just, boom, smacked me in the face. That all I was doing was going home, work,
just in a routine.
And it became so, like, repetitive. And I'm like, I can't do this. So one day, I left work, and I was like, I gotta go. They was like, where you going? Minding my business. You know, and I didn't tell my bosses that, but, you know, my head, I'm like, mind your business, please. I actually went to the beach. And you know how a lot of people get baptized in the beach. I'm trying to. I grew up very religious because my dad not so much, but my dad's dad, my grandpa, on my dad's side is very religious. He's a pastor.
So you have that in
So
your
I
family.
have that in my family. Where I learned scriptures just so I can throw people off. Like, yeah, I'm gay,
But
but
I
what
know
are you
God.
doing that's taking you through the righteous way? Please tell me, hit me with the scripture, please, and not John 3:16 because everybody know that. Like hit me with something from Luke or something.
Right.
Like just hit me with something, and people couldn't, and I was like, I got you. Let me spit something to you real quick. That got It
Yeah.
got to that point, but it's just like I left and I was like, I'm going to the beach because I want to lay in the water. I want to float. I want my worries to go away, and I promise you, that little change I did from going from home to work, it went from home to work, left work, went to the beach, called off the next day to go back to the beach, and I did the same thing twice, laid in the water, just my hair everywhere in the water, my body just floating like a big bayou or something, like the little floating things in the
Yeah.
water, just floating in the water and closing my eyes. I got a little sunburn, but it's okay because, God was kissing me with the rays. But I just sat there and I was just thankful. I was like, God, you helped me through so much.
There's so much.
This is what I needed. And after that, that was like 2 weeks ago, everything was Gucci. Depression said, open up. I'm here. I'm back. You know? And that's where a lot of people feel like, I kind of get it, where a lot of people feel like, girl, you playing.
Right.
And I also get it, like, but depression is not something you can just get rid of. It will
Right.
always be there.
It will.
It's just how you think of it, how you
deal
take
with
it.
it.
And usually how I deal with it is I do my makeup, I make jokes, I laugh, I dance, I do all of that. But what about myself?
You don't.
I don't. I don't think of none of that. I just think of being stuck.
Feeling like you not coming or going, but every day is changing. Like,
And I don't know how to say the word. Don't judge me if I sound stupid. An empath, where you feel you have empathy for people. And I think I think a part of my depression is just dealing with my friends' problems. I have a lot of friends that are going through a lot too, and I'm
And
just
you're
like,
taking
I
on
relate
their-
because I went through that. But because you're going through it, you're
it's
my
taking
friend,
a
and
toll
it's
on me too.
taking a toll on me. And I think I do that a lot too. I think of that too.
That was one of my biggest things. Is taking on other people's problems, because like I always say, sensitivity is my superpower. Like, I'm happy in the way that I'm able to be genuine with someone, and I'm able to care and show love and support and have empathy for them, especially in a world full of hate and
Girl,
just so negative. Like, I don't want to be that person.
right.
And I don't pretend to be that person. But also when my friends are like calling me crying and stuff like that, those things take a toll on me because I feel helpless. Like, there's nothing that I can do besides give advice. But I know that you need more, whether it's money or whether
Right.
it's this situation. But it's like, because helping you will put me in a bad situation, And that's one of the things that I had to learn this year, was kind of to just love and support my friends a little bit from a distance. Because especially now where I'm coming towards the end of school and stuff like that, I graduated in May, and it's like so much things are going on.
Oh, May right around the corner too.
Yeah, I know. It's so much things going on, and like people are like, well, what are you doing when you graduate? Like, what?
Right.
Can I get there?
Right. Let me pass. Let
Can
me
I
walk
get
the
there?
stage. Right.
And I can think about all of those things, but you feel like the whole world is on your shoulders, and you got work, you got school, you got this, you got that, and I just had to kind of distance myself a little bit. So I don't see my friends as much. I don't talk to my friends as
Oh,
much.
yeah.
And I know that they're
Definitely.
kind of like, well, dang, Ty, what's up? What's going on? Like, you know, everybody, you don't
Like,
do
girl,
me
you
no
don't
more.
talk- you don't talk to me no more,
okay,
girl. You
you
petty,
done got
you
your
childish.
taxes or whatever. But
Girl, I wish I got my taxes real quick.
it's so much more than that. It's just like, I literally can't take anything else.
And sometimes that's what you need. And that's why I think a lot of people, just fall into that, not a depression state, but just fall into that state where, like, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Why am I sad?
You don't even know.
Like, with me, like, it's just the same thing as you with friends. But I feel like I don't want to tell you my problems because you have your own problems.
Oh,
And I think
get
of
what you
you
mean.
first, then I think of myself. Even when people be like, you got to think of yourself. It's easy to say, it's so hard to do.
It
I'm
is
such a
very
caring
hard.
person even though sometimes I might be a B-I-C-T-H. I was like, from Love and Hip Hop. But no, I think about it all the time. Like, everybody's like, Paco, tell me how you feel. I'm sorry you're going through this. Hit me up. Right when I'm about to text or when I'm about to call, I just hang up or I delete the text message or sometimes I just write it out because I always think like, you know what? I'm going through this, but you're going through that.
Right.
I don't want to put what I'm going through on top of yours.
Yeah.
Even though you say it's okay. But I know
I don't want to be a burden to you.
But low key, I always think if I tell you, I feel like they'll be like, it's not that deep. You should see what I'm going through. So that's why I'm like so hesitant to tell anybody how I feel. And that's why it gets suppressed and it gets tucked away. And then it always comes back out.
Always, because you never fully deal with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know who needs to know this, but those friends who be like, I'm going through this, but your problems are not my problems, and we're not going to be dealing with them the same. So respect that,
You're not, right.
And I was talking about that in my last episode about boundaries. Like, you have to be able to know your friends that you can talk to and come to. And it sucks that you have to put people in categories, but sometimes
definitely.
you do.
Definitely. And that definitely sucks. But that goes to just what I said. I'd rather not say anything. I'd rather not hear anything because I don't sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat nothing. So when my friend tells me, I'm going to tell you, do this and do that.
Right.
I might say it in a sweet way, but I'm still going to tell you. So I always, like I said, it just goes back to that category where I'd rather just not say nothing or I'd rather not hear anything. Because I don't, at the end of the day, it's just it's stupid. I don't know, like, I can't speak for everyone with depression. It's different for everybody. Talking with you, yours is a little different from mine.
Right.
You deal with it differently. I deal with it differently. But it's there. And I kind of want to be in a room full of depressed people, but not everybody goes through it the same. And I don't want to sit here.
Did you just say?
I know,
I'm not trying.
It might be. No, it might sound like.
But like a room full of depressed people, like.
So we can understand each other and see why you're depressed.
Right.
But then again, when I think about it, I'm like, no, ma'am. Because crying Susie.
Right.
Slapping Sally over there, they're going to be doing something different while I'm over here trying to just listen, A lot of people deal with it differently, and it's just like...
I'm not laughing, guys. It's just you
No,
should
yes, you
see
are, girl,
Paco's expressions.
Like, no.
That's true. And that also could be a trigger, listening to other people's problems and listening to other things that people are going through. And then sometimes I feel guilty. Because right now I volunteer at a place that people are 200% in poverty, and these are people who don't have clothes, who don't have food, who don't.
And they're happy.
And they come every Thursday so happy to see me, and here I am boohoo crying about my situation.
Right, exactly, and that's part of why I choose not to tell people, because people will always be like, okay, you're going through that, but girl, my car got repoed, and then my rent is late because my job, they let me go. Girl, it's not about you right now. I know you're going through whatever you want to go through too, but you ask me and I'm telling you, and then you want to throw that back in my face.
No.
And that's the reason why I just don't say nothing, because a lot of people do have it worse than me.
You're right.
And I'm forever grateful for what I have. I'm forever grateful for still being alive and being able to get through it, but when you're in that moment, you don't think like that.
You don't. Because for me, this is a big thing. For me, this is a mountain that I can't climb. For me, this is my situation, and I can't stand when people trying to downplay how you feel.
Yeah.
I'm right there. So if you want to talk, you could talk to me off air.
You want to talk right now? Cause
But, because I completely understand. I feel the same way, and our situations may be 100% different, but I get the same reactions.
The feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
You know what? Since that post, I made a list. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah,
list.
I did see the list. I wanted to talk to you about that. Do you mind if I read it? Yeah, of course.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up because I'm just playing. That was me making a sign to open my phone, y'all, because I got the X or whatever.
Okay. We see you doing big
a little
things.
violent or whatever. Hold on. Let me go to it. So, I made a list of, I call it a stay out of depression goal list, because I'm so sick and tired of getting to work at 3 o'clock when I work at 12 and then leaving at 7 is 4 hours a day. What am I doing? Yeah. Child, that's just enough money to
Okay,
to
that
pay my
paycheck
bills.
be
And
looking like,
girl, right? I want to buy makeup, but I can't because I got bills.
Yeah.
So my goal was to wake up on time for work, even if I had to set my alarm 9 hours before. you know. But I prefer to wake up by 10 because I work at 12. I'll be ready
Yeah,
by 10:30.
that's enough time.
You know. So I made a goal list of wake up on time for work to smile more, because I noticed that a lot of people at my job, they always like, you know what, Paco? When I first met you, I thought you was a B-I-C-T-H. No, B-I-T-C-H. They thought I was that, and it's just my face. And it's like, no, I'm a bubbly person.
You have
Just
that
talk to me.
resting
Yeah.
face. And I have the
So,
same, I completely could resonate with that.
trust me, because when I first met you, I was like, girl, she look a little
Really?
mean.
Oh my gosh, people always think that, and then they get to know me and they're like,
You the sweetest thing. Like, girl, get out my face because you too sweet. You too sugary. Girl, I don't want a pound cake. I want a slice of cake, not the whole thing. That's how you are, honestly, and I love it. I also said to laugh more, to do something I normally don't do. And why I added that was the same thing referenced when I said about going to the beach and just laying there. That was something normally I don't normally do because I'm pale.
Yeah,
Look, girl, I got tan. You can see that tan
Okay.
from the beach?
Okay.
I'm white, girl. And so
yeah, you
that's
do.
something different.
You get some more sun.
Right. Girl, don't do me. I got melanin a little bit. Might be a little Caucasian too, but and then I said, try not to let simple things distract me from my happiness. And the reason why I say this is because I'll be happy about getting my paycheck, and then knowing I got bills, I can't let that distract me because I know it's there. So I'm like, you know what? Here, take my $400.
Take your money.
Take my $400.
I'm gonna be fine.
I'll be fine with a little $20.
Okay, I'll make it stretch.
I'll make it. That $20 gonna be stretched like it's 20 pennies. Okay, girl. And then I don't know if I can say this, but I said I block all DL dudes. If nobody knows what DL means, if you're not in the LGBTQ plus community, DL basically means down low. Down low dudes that want to caress and hug and freak somebody that's
touch that topic a
we
little
can
bit.
talk.
Okay.
If you want to talk about it tonight or another day, ain't no pressure. I said that because I want to be in a relationship with a man that I can be in public with.
Yeah, that's
a
open.
Man that I can very open. A man that I can sit here and be like, babe, give me a kiss, and not worry about it. But all the dudes that I've been messing with, because they so thuggish, and I love a little thuggish dude. He down low, and you don't get the same you don't get the same vibe you get from a down low dude with a guy that's out there, and that's my problem. So I said, I'm finna block all of them because sometimes I get emotionally attached to one that I'm dealing with for a certain amount of time. And I'm like, babe, don't call me no babe. You don't see where we at. Okay, sorry. My bad. But it hits me like, dang, I can't.
Yeah, I can't even call you babe, but
Right. And then my last one was to try to understand nothing will go exactly how you want it to go. And that's life. And you move forward and learn from your experiences that didn't go well.
Yeah.
So in this case, if I lose something that I really love, I'm going to cry about it. But the next day, I'm going to be like, you know what? It's done. What's done is done. Move forward. Sometimes it's hard to do that because you get so depressed that you lost that thing. Or you get so sad in the state that, I don't know if this makes sense to anybody. Some people are like, it's not that deep to get depressed over that. We're not the same. You don't feel things I feel.
Exactly.
You would never feel it like that.
I've experienced.
And I would never block things like you do because, we're not the same. But I also put on my Facebook, while I put that post, I gave my number out publicly.
Okay.
This phone number I had over 8 years. The whole world called me. I got the police calling me about Federico. I don't know who Federico is. He had my phone number eight years before me.
Federico, they looking for you?
Federico Escobar. That's his name. And they keep... Girl, his name is tagged to my CVS card. No, ma'am. So the whole world called me. So I'm like, you know what? If a few more people have my number, hit me up, oh, well. I could block somebody.
How has that been going with giving your number out?
The best thing ever.
That's good.
Because I posted and I said, I don't care who has my number, but I know there's a lot of people who are inspirational out there and who can text message me or call me and be like, "Bruh," or Paco, Bagirl, B-A-G-I-R. Hey, Bagirl, what's up? I got a lot of text messages like, hey, Bagirl, what's up? Wake up. You doing good today. Let's do something. And that actually helped me.
That's good.
And I wish I've done that before because I didn't think about it because I don't want to bother people. But there are a lot of, as much as people you feel like don't care, there's a lot of people who care. There's careless people and there's people who care. Yeah. And a lot of text messages that I've been getting are, you know what, very inspirational. And at this point, I didn't know how inspiring I was. I'm very humble, so my humble eye blocks all of that. I don't see myself better than somebody else. I just see myself a little, elevated, but
A little up there, whatever.
a little up there, but I'm not looking down on people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at people straight in their eyes. Straight. So to get this type of love and for people to tell me, your depression makes me depressed, Paco, because you're not this person, at least from what I know, and I need to see you how you are because the person you are, you uplifted me. I was going through depression myself and watching you live, watching you sing and dance and do your makeup. It's like, oh my God, there's somebody just like me in this world and is going through it, but it's okay.
Right.
And a lot of people actually, I didn't realize.
Yeah, they could relate with you.
I didn't realize it. And the funny thing about that, it gets me more depressed because I'm depressed that I can't get back to where I'm at. And those people are like, get out of it, get out of it. And it's like, I kind of feel like,
now you feel pressure to hurry up and rush out of your depression.
And this is how exactly celebrities feel.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So, Paco, you a celebrity?
Girl. I might be. Might be a little bit. No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm so humbled. I don't see that. I see friendship. I see, I have supporters. I have people who genuinely have me on their notifications on. And that, like I said, how I realized people really care was they always hit me, girl, you ain't live. Girl, you ain't doing this. And I don't see it like that, but in that pressure is like, get out of it, Paco. So that's why I told myself by March, which I have, and it's so crazy, by March, I felt like a burden was lifted off of me. I'm still a little depressed. I'm not gonna lie. Little things still trigger, but I'm not as deep in it as I was last week.
You're a step out of it.
I'm a step getting closer to being me. I'm gonna go live this Saturday maybe or Friday. I don't know how I feel. To do my makeup because I have to do. I feel so good doing my makeup. I feel pretty. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty naturally. But
it's a sense of release for you.
Hold on, let me show y'all these. No, they can't see the pictures, but it's just like I'm getting there, and it's like I don't want to let anyone down. I didn't know that the people were
looking up to you.
Yeah, excuse me. I had some gay people who weren't out that was like, you helped me.
Wow.
So let me help you get out of that depression because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And that makes me happy. So that's why part of me is like, come on, wake up, girl, because you can't be sleeping in this nightmare no more. Get up. So as of today, I was depressed yesterday. Today, I'm happy. And I feel like tomorrow's going to be a good day. Sometimes you feel it.
Yeah,
sometimes,
you feel like you feel it in the spirit, in the air. The universe.
The presence of the Lord is here.
Okay, you're going to sing for us?
I don't know, man. Not tonight. That's another episode. But, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's mind-boggling how your body just reacts differently.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody can really relate out there or anybody that's going to listen to this or is listening to this right now can relate to anything I said in this podcast. But if you are, just know that be strong because you never know who's watching you. Like I said, I've never known people watching me until people started noticing it. And that's why I'm so transparent with people. I want to let people know that I'm here and I'm okay. I don't want y'all to think that I'm suicidal because like I said, there's a lot of people that don't make it.
That's true.
There's a lot of people who are, it's too late and do things that they never wanted to do. Some people,
right, like big people like Kate Spade and
girl,
the famous traveler. I don't remember his name, but they passed away within the same time span. And a lot of people will say, well, they have all this money and they have all of this, they have all of that, but sometimes it's so internal, and people don't get that.
And it's not the money.
It's none of that.
It's not the money that's or it's not that you in debt or anything. It's feelings.
The way you feel. And feelings are big, and that's why one of the things is like for me, I'm gonna always be honest about my feelings and the things that make me feel a certain way. That's why I say I always gotta speak my mind. I always gotta say how I feel because you have to be able to be aware of your feelings. They're important, and people have them. I'm not out here. I got no feelings, even though I do be on my city girls.
Girl, girl, hello.
I got feelings, and I be in them sometimes.
Right.
And you gotta talk about it. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, even talking to you today, like, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Not that I've been heavy into it, but it's just like, okay, I feel better today.
Yeah, it just, when you realize you're going through it with someone that may be similar or even something that just hits you, it's like, you know what, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
If Ty's depressed, I'm depressed, we can get out of it because
we got this.
We're here talking about it.
Right.
I don't know. It's life, and you deal with stuff.
And you get out of it.
And I think one thing that I do just to try to get myself out of depression is think of my mom. I'm a mama's boy.
Aww.
I'm my mom's favorite. Yup, I said it. I said it because my brothers and my sisters, girl, real quick, if y'all see my setup, real quick, I'm my mom's favorite, even though she told them, and then she tells me I'm not, but I know I am. I always think of her. I always do for my mom, and I always think of myself. Like I used to be. I don't know if we're talking too much.
You're fine.
I used to be very suicidal. I used to be very suicidal. But one thing that always got me out of it was God and my mom. I was like, if I kill myself, I'm going straight to hell. I mean, I'm gay. Might still be going there,
but this really gonna get me in there.
This gonna get me the gasoline draws. I'm gonna have socks full of gasoline. All of that. I'm gonna have the whip, attached to my back already. And I also thought of my mom. My mom done so much for me, and I'd rather bury my mom. Sad to say, but I'd rather bury my mom than she bury me. Because she's already depressed. And
there's so much things she probably is already going
through.
And
I'd rather her live knowing that I'm alive. And I think that's, going back to me, we'll talk about another discussion about homosexuality. We'll do that later. But and that it brings it back to why she was so, nurturing of me and just caging me because she didn't want me to.
She didn't want you to experience
stuff. And I still did, low key, even though she don't know. But I think of stuff like that when I'm depressed. I think of, like, what would my mom do? Or
how would this affect
I can't be selfish and want to be suicidal. I can't call the suicidal line. One time I called the suicidal line when I was in middle school. Them bitches got me more depressed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Then the B word. I'm sorry, y'all. It just came out. This whole time I was doing good. But they got me more depressed because they was like, how you feel? I don't really remember how they, back then. Like, what are you feeling? Don't do that. I'm going to do it. Get on my face. Yeah. It was that deep. But the thing is, I don't remember being depressed as I am now. And that's why I say I think it's when you're an adult.
It hits you differently.
It hits you a little differently.
I'm sorry. Y'all can't see what's going on right now.
Mind your business.
But it hits you a little differently. So, every week I have a tradition where I do weekly challenges at the end of every episode. So, since you're my guest, is there a weekly challenge you want to give the audience?
I think a weekly challenge. Let's do. When's the next time you're going to do a podcast?
It's every Monday.
Every Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like next Monday, do something you've never done. If you've never gone to the movies by yourself, do it. Mm-hmm. You won't regret it, trust me.
I go to movies by myself.
Hello, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Take yourself out to eat. Go to the beach. Do something you really never done. If you're scared of rollerblade, do it. I feel like a challenge I can't really give you a challenge. I just feel like do something you've never done. Something that's going to make you feel alive. Heck, if you feel like, going to the beach, getting drunk, and then you see the police and just throwing the bottle away and running away, not driving because don't drink and drive, but running away. If that gives you a thrill, that's something different. Go fishing. I have a lot of friends that say they've never gone fishing when they did. They're like, girl, I've been missing my whole life catching a fish and then throwing it back out or taking it home and eating it, So just, I feel like the challenge would be to listen to yourself and then do something that yourself wouldn't do.
Right.
Like for me is do makeup on somebody. I would never do it, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I ain't going to do it next Monday because I work, but
I'm going to do it one of these days.
Right. I might even do it on you soon.
Okay.
And then maybe you can go, post a little pic or something.
Paco finally did a makeup art on me.
For real.
Well, thank you so much, Paco, for sitting down and having this conversation with me. I truly do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're
I was
welcome.
nervous.
It's something to be nervous about.
I know. I'm not nervous. I hope I don't sound nasty, but...
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Life with Ty. Holla.
Bye. Peace.
Die on the line,